A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a historic move, the U.S. House of Representatives has voted overwhelmingly to pass a comprehensive defense policy bill, known as the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, authorizing a staggering $900 billion in military spending. The vote, which concluded with a tally of 312 in favor and 112 against, marks a significant step in shaping the future of U.S. military funding and operations. This 3,000-page legislation not only includes provisions for a pay raise for troops, but also addresses critical issues surrounding military oversight and international military engagements. One of the most notable aspects of the NDAA is the proposed 3.8% pay increase for military personnel, a move that aims to bolster the morale and financial stability of service members and their families. Additionally, the bill emphasizes improvements in housing and facilities on military bases, addressing long-standing concerns about the living conditions of troops. However, the legislation is not without controversy. A significant stipulation within the NDAA demands transparency regarding nearly 24 lethal boat strikes conducted in the Caribbean, targeting suspected drug smugglers. Lawmakers have called for the Pentagon to release unedited footage of a particularly scrutinized strike from September, which resulted in the deaths of survivors from a previous operation. In an unprecedented move, part of the travel budget for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth will be withheld until Congress receives this crucial information, highlighting the increasing demand for accountability within military operations. The NDAA also allocates $400 million annually for the next 2 years to support Ukraine amidst ongoing tensions with Russia. This funding is seen as vital to maintaining U.S. support for allies in Europe, especially in light of recent doubts regarding the Trump administration's commitment to foreign military assistance. The legislation stipulates that at least 76,000 U.S. troops and major military equipment must remain stationed in Europe unless a thorough consultation with NATO allies determines otherwise. While the bill has garnered bipartisan support, it has faced criticism from various factions. Hardline conservatives have expressed concerns over the inclusion of Ukraine funding, arguing that the U.S. should not be financially supporting foreign conflicts when domestic issues persist. Additionally, some lawmakers have pushed for stricter regulations on military flights over Washington, especially following a tragic mid-air collision that resulted in the loss of 67 lives. In a bid to align the NDAA with Trump's national security agenda, the legislation also cuts climate and diversity initiatives, reflecting the priorities of the current administration. This compromise has drawn mixed reactions from lawmakers, with some praising the focus on military readiness, while others lament the reduction of efforts aimed at addressing climate change and promoting diversity within the armed forces. As the NDAA moves to the Senate for further deliberation, leaders are working diligently to ensure its passage before the holiday recess. The combined efforts of House and Senate leaders have already produced a negotiated package that is expected to sail through the Senate and reach President Trump's desk for approval. In addition to military funding and oversight, the NDAA introduces significant economic measures aimed at countering China's influence. The legislation mandates that U.S. companies and investors inform the Treasury Department when investing in high-risk technologies associated with China or other nations of concern. This proactive approach underscores the growing recognition of the need to safeguard U.S. interests in an increasingly competitive global landscape. Moreover, the NDAA prohibits the Pentagon from contracting with Chinese genetic sequencing firms and from purchasing critical materials originating from foreign entities deemed to pose a threat to national security. This provision is part of a broader strategy to reduce reliance on foreign suppliers and bolster domestic production capabilities. As the legislative process unfolds, the NDAA continues to spark debate over the future of U.S. military policy, funding priorities, and international relations. With the Senate poised to take action, the outcome of this crucial legislation will undoubtedly shape the trajectory of U.S. defense strategy for years to come. In conclusion, the passage of the National Defense Authorization Act represents a pivotal moment in U.S. military policy, balancing the need for increased funding and troop support with the demand for greater oversight and accountability. As lawmakers navigate the complexities of military spending and foreign aid, The implications of this legislation will resonate far beyond the halls of Congress, influencing the lives of service members and the security of the nation. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.